Well, the San Diego Zoo, as well as the Safari Park, are pushing forward with their reopenings happening this very weekend. So Carrie Lane is joining us live from the zoo to talk about the openings and the safety measures being taken for guests. Good morning.
Good morning, but first off, I want to show you the cutest thing that you have probably will see today. We have a couple of flamingos that are actually only a couple of hours old. Take a look at how tiny they are. What a special treat. And all the healthcare workers and their families are invited here today to enjoy all this special joy and see these animals again for the first time in several months. It's part of their way, the zoo and Safari Park, saying thank you for all that they've done these past few months during this pandemic. The reopening of the gates, this is monumental in the sense that this is the first major closure the zoo has ever seen in its 103-year history. Now, since all this has happened, several safety measures have been put in place as a result of the coronavirus, and now the zoo and Safari Park are ready to invite the general public back tomorrow for a walk on the wild side. When you enter the park, you'll notice signs all throughout reminding you to social distance, which shouldn't be too difficult since the park will only be operating at less than 50% capacity. It is important to note that the entry into the park will be on a first-come, first-served basis until the attendance limit is met. From there, guests will only be let in as visitors leave the park. Also note too, during the initial reopening phases, members and guests are not permitted to exit and re-enter the zoo or Safari Park on the same day. Now, as for parking, do know it is limited, but the $15 general parking fee is waived currently, and that'll stay in place for a little bit of time. The paid parking will resume at a later date. As I'm sure you can imagine, face masks are obviously required with the exception of when you're eating, and also know some exhibits and experiences are closed. Probably the biggest ones to note will be the bus tours and the Safari aerial tram. So you're going to be doing a lot of walking if you come, but that's okay. We need some exercise after being home for several months, right? So again, healthcare workers are getting the first peek today at these exotic animals. It's just a small token of appreciation over what they've done the past several months. In fact, earlier this morning, we caught up with a wife whose husband is a healthcare worker, and here's how she talked about how the pandemic has affected her and her family.
It's been stressful, not knowing if we're going to catch the virus, especially since he works at a hospital. So we've been staying indoors, and this is literally our first venture out. So we're excited because we usually go out all the time, go to the zoo, different places, but this is our first time out since COVID, so the pandemic.
And we're back out here live where you can see these flamingos are basking in the sun, enjoying the warmth. And also we've noticed the animals, some of them putting on quite a show today. The orangutans especially excited to see people. But you can see all these families and healthcare workers out here today really enjoying this. The kids, we've just been seeing smiles on their faces. I think this is the first chance for a lot of people to really just kind of get outside, have some source of entertainment and a little sense of normalcy. That is the very latest. Guys, we'll get it back to you at the desk.
All right, Carrie, thank you for that.